legends, welcome back to another episode of FatChat. I'm your host, Body Majic, and as always, joined by my co-host, Matt Burton.
Good to see you, mate.
Welcome, Matt. I got that sound effect that you're after as well. Just do that sound effect. Sorry for the goat requested. Hey, Gerard, next time I'm on, just make sure that goat sound effect is there to go. How's the week been? Good?
Yeah, good. That's a good. Play that again.
Yeah. Love it. Yeah. So I knew he'd love it. Look how much he blushes when this happens. He loves it. He loves it.
My son would. Yeah.
Well, it's been a big week for training for me, actually, Matt. I've been building the daily habits. You've been keeping up with the stories and everything.
Yeah, they're great.
Yeah, I know you love them. Yeah, I swear I'm the only.
All I saw was you eating ice cream now.
Yeah, exactly. This is what I was going to bring up. Yeah. So I had my 6 that I was building up for. So I had like training, cooking a bit more food, taking my supplements, doing some cardio, whatever. And I thought, what's missing in this? Something that I really, really like. And I thought I'm going to do a little bit of ice cream every day as part of a daily habit as well. Not going crazy on the stuff. It's not like I'm loading up the...
I haven't got from a litre to 2.
Yeah. No, I actually switch in between I have Ben and Jerry's there when I'm really like... I've got like the peanut butter, like double chocolate, like filthy as one. Thick. And then I've also got like the Halo one, which is like the... it's got 5 grams of protein in it. So it's a protein. It's not a protein ice cream, but it's like
still an ice cream.
It's still ice cream.
It's not one of those dairy-free.
No. Well, it's actually, it's got the reason why it's less in calories because it's like for a whole tub is 400 cows is they actually mix in egg white.
That's the protein.
That's the protein. So it's like milk. It's like 40% milk or something and it's like 40% egg white, which is great, which is just pure protein straight to the muscles.
Too, then,
yeah. So
straight to the muscles.
Straight to the muscle. Was that 5 grams?
That's what you think when you're eating ice cream. Straight to the muscles.
So I've been adding that in, but just to kind of show everybody that like one really good way to keep to whatever that you're doing is making sure that you're including stuff that you actually like to do every now and then. It's got to be in moderation. I'm not eating a whole bloody tub every time I'm going to the freezer.
Salmon.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, just your little treat to yourself, which is good. But I've also been in the gym and I've just been able to get my weights up, ready for a round of applause, to back where I was pre-triathlon.
Pre-Ironman.
Yeah, yes, pre-Ironman. Yeah, like just getting there. So like bench, I'm sort of just at 90 kilos now. I can do about 6 of them, which is like, that's the most I can ever do anyway, even,
Would that be this time last year?
Yeah, it would be about this time. Yeah, it's about 12. I think I had something come up on the story that I'd like just gone for my first bike ride around this time.
Yeah,
so,
right. Wow.
Which is crazy. So like, I actually thought it was going to come back way quicker than that. Like my strength.
Strength, right.
It hasn't though. Like I feel like that's been a really slow build because that's been since December.
Yeah, endurance eats away at it essentially.
Yeah.
So you like, especially when you do the longer stuff, you go catabolic. So you're eating muscle.
Yep.
And that's where after big events and whatnot, when you deplete heavily, getting back in the gym is actually quite important, even for in the endurance space.
Yep.
Not only someone who just wants to get bigger and stronger
but
again.
What I'm finding is my weight is so slow to go up because you know how we spoke about it on a pod like last year, you get really dense muscles when you're doing your endurance stuff. So I was putting on weight before I lost all the weight, but I got down to, I think the day of the Ironman was about 81. But I'm only up to like maybe 83 again now.
Really?
Yeah, which is real.
Like composition change, you feel?
Yeah, definitely. I think
your hips wouldn't be as dense.
No. I think my legs are still definitely then nowhere near as thick as what they were before. Yeah. Just because I'm still doing a bit of the running. And what I kind of like doing is, and what I'm trying to find the balance with that would be good to get your thoughts about it, is how to actually balance the weight lifting stuff. Because I'm still trying to put on a little bit because I got Europe trying to look good, get all those plumpy muscles. But
summer in Europe,
you got to, man. But the running stuff I find is still real good for like all my anxiety and, just feeling good in general. And you feel just like you've had a good, release and keep my cardio fitness up. But I'm sort of trying to find it hard to like do as good at both. You know what I mean? Is there like any recommendations to balance the two?
You actually put something up the other day in terms of like, don't do cardio pre-weights. So then in addition to that, it's, you do your weights, right? And that's the key. That's what you're trying to get out of your current fitness regime. But the running is great for endorphin release. It's also the one thing, running's so high impact, you can't tend to think about too much else.
Yep.
So it's great for your mind, mental release. But keeping it slow is the most important thing for you when you're not trying to I guess, improve as a runner in terms of PB, or you're not trying to set records running. You're trying to improve in the gym. So the slower you run, the better you will be long term, and the less likely you are to get injured.
For sure. And then what about though? Because like obviously, depending on I'm not running very far. Like the most I'm running at the moment, I think was like I did like 13 the other week, and that was like a pretty long one for me from what I've regularly been doing more recently.
It's an hour. Yeah. You know, you're an hour plus, right?
Yeah. So like, what about if I change the distances? Does that sort of match the weightlifting and sort of power side? Because obviously, like, you know, it would, if it was a direct match to running stuff, it would be like weightlifting and sprinting. That goes together because it's like powerful. Power. What about like that sort of any middle distance kind of like running would match up any better?
Yeah, I would. You could go so many ways with this, but the key would be to probably run more often through the week and run shorter distances.
Yep, but faster.
Oh, no, not necessarily. You want to, if anything, what you would watch most when you're trying to do it as cardio is your heart rate. So if you keep it under sort of 75% of your max heart rate, you're going to stay in an aerobic zone, and you're not going to do enough damage to yourself to
impact the weights later.
The next day.
Yeah.
Because you're trying to get in the gym the next day or even 2 days later. You don't want severe calf, you know.
Big time.
Running will have an impact every time you do it. You feel all right going to bed, or you wake up in the morning and you're holding the walls as you're trying to get a bit of blood flow through the feet, which is very normal. If you're anyone that's trying to start their running journey, that's okay.
Yep.
You will just get moving is the key. But yeah, keeping the running more consistently, shorter. An hour is probably a long one if you're trying to improve in the gym. You can, because you've done a bit of running now, it'll be okay. You'll be able to get through it, but that's going over that sort of hour mark is when you play with a bit more injury.
Yep.
More time on feet, right?
Yeah, of course.
So running slow, when I say running slow, it's just running within yourself, so you could speak to someone the whole time is a perfect way to think about it.
Yep.
And try to keep it on a soft surface, or use some really cushioned shoes.
Yeah, true. Yeah, we're doing like, it's pretty flat as well where I'm going. So like that probably helps out a little bit, just being less, less intense and everything as well. But I'll keep building that. But it's just so hard to try to find that nice little balance of it all, because I think that's one thing that really impacted me doing all the big long distance stuff, was just watch all the muscle just go away on me from definitely some body dysmorphia issues that I've got deep underlying stuff, but
it's like creep up
literally like I'm like, oh my god, like literally it'll be like it'd be like on Monday I was just like, oh the fuck, I look like fucking shit, but and then 2 days later I'm like, oh yeah, I look good. Like it's just like this all the time. And the running definitely does that. It depends on how many gym sessions I've done a week, because my muscles look fuller and more plumpy, and I'm like, oh yeah, that's good. But then I go for a run, which I feel good about myself, and I'm like, oh, you look shit. So
you dehydrate yourself.
Yeah.
If you run too hard, sometimes you'll puff a bit. Yeah, right, because you've created a fair bit of trauma through your legs. But that's something else you hear a lot. Like a lot of people start running and like, well, I'm running 4 times a week, I'm doing 20 or 30K a week, and I'm putting on weight.
Yep.
You're not putting on weight, your density, your composition's changing. You got to just stick at that 3 months, 4 months.
Do you think that maybe my muscles haven't got undensed yet?
No, you had enough time.
That's
off.
enough time to like let them sponge up again?
Yeah.
Okay,
and so now what did I have? 10 weeks off where I didn't run, and that's to 0 again.
Yep.
So your your tendons get very... So your body adapts to your current situation. So once you go over a sort of a month period, your tendons, which usually will respond under stress, they'll just adapt to be weaker.
Yep.
So it's a bit of a catch-22. Like, yeah, rest is good, but too much and you're back to square one.
And after hearing Dr. Majic stuff the other day, I want to try the CBD oils. I want to try that big time. I want to see. I think this could be a good one. Good story.
She was talking about she'd had some before.
Yeah, she did. Yeah, she literally was.
It's okay.
I want to get on that. And I reckon that's a great story for everybody to follow along to see how that, affects the training and everything. I reckon that would be a good one.
We actually spoke about it at home because, for me, there's endurance athletes that support it.
Yeah.
So I think we covered it in the episode with her, the ointment doesn't have the hallucinogenic effect.
The THC stuff.
Yeah, that just helps you, relax. But I guess my wife questioned it, like, do you really need that when you're just shattered from training?
True. So true.
How low do you want to go?
Yeah.
Bedtime,
well, how about we try it on me first?
Right.
I'll be the little guinea pig.
I can't do it.
So good. Well, if anybody wants any running tips or anything like that covered off by us, make sure you hit us up on any of the FatChat socials or at fatchat@backchatstudios.com.au.
Oh no!
Now, Fat Chatters, we have got a huge announcement here. Massive. Like this is the biggest thing that we've done on Fat Chat so far.
Something I should have done a long time ago, maybe.
Yes.
But I needed a body.
Yes, you
to
did.
Support it.
You literally
did. a magic body.
To do all the heavy lifting, and that's what we're here for. But what we are putting together is the Matt Burton and Body Magic running program, which we're putting out to all the Fat Chat listeners. And this is a program that Matt has designed. It's a 16-week long program to take you from what we're doing right now, sitting on a couch, listening to Fat Chat, not doing anything, to being able to do a half marathon in 16 weeks.
We've taken inspiration from the Body Magic Ironman approach last year.
Just get it done.
From zero to hero.
Yes.
Is our motto.
That's exactly what we're doing. So I've been loving putting this together with you. We went and shot all the content for it. You're going to be seeing all those videos coming on out over the next few weeks. And what I thought we'd do is we sort of just like intro it and we'll sort of tell everybody what it's about and what they get as part of the program. So like we said, it's a 16-week program. Sign-ups are through the Body Magic website, www.bodymagic.fit. There's going to be limited spots for them.
Yep.
And what's included is you get obviously the running program that you've created, which we'll go through what that is in just a second. You get nutrition help. You get a weekly check-in with a Body Magic coach, either myself or one of the other coaching staff that I've got on as well. And we've got a weekly run club that everybody is invited down to, where I'll be there every time. And then Matt, for the times that you're in Perth and able to, will be down screaming and shouting at everyone. Should be good fun. No, high-fiving everybody. That's more what
Structured session.
Structured session, yeah.
Yeah, so there'll be purpose to it.
Exactly. And we're putting together this team because like what I really loved about doing all the Ironman stuff was all these other people that I sort of met along the way, yourself, all these, Bakes, all of his team, there's so many people that I met from doing that experience. And we want to kind of bring that to this run club, because if this is just something that's maybe a little bit out of your comfort zone, we want to get all those first-time runners. This is for people that have done no running before, absolutely zero experience, and we're going to build you up so you can finish a half marathon and get that same amazing feeling that we both get from doing, for my one race that I've done, but your many, many races, and show everybody what the hype is about with running and how much better you can feel with it and that feeling of accomplishment.
Yeah, absolutely. Running's the one thing is you're never too old, you're never too slow to start the journey, right?
Yep.
So if we can encourage people just to put the shoes on and get started, 16 weeks, someone will be there the whole time.
Yep.
To support you through. The joys of running is there's also that challenge of managing your body, managing the soreness.
Yep.
So getting your diet right is going to be important.
Yep.
But we don't have any specific goals for people's times. There's no pressure.
This is
zero. This
completion.
Is fun.
This is fun.
Yep.
This is taken from zero to hero. This is something that if you've ever wanted to start running, because like we're talking about running a lot, right?
Yep.
And you might be thinking, going, oh, fuck, I'd love to start running. This is how you get started. And like
it's a big trend now too, right? Running.
Huge,
Run clubs are everywhere. I actually ran back down along the river the other day for the first time in a while. I live up the hill. I couldn't believe the number of people. I've run through Maylands. I lived in Maylands for a long time, for years. But I reckon it tripled with the number of people I'd seen down
pumping.
there. So
that's the thing.
You don't have to. You can wear tracksuits. It's fine.
Whatever you like.
It's wear a shirt on policy, except body match.
Can't say that that's definitely going to be uphill.
It's winter, remember. We're in the winter. We're in the depths of it. But we're going to push towards a half marathon that falls in October.
Yep.
Actually will fall the day before I leave for Hawaii for the World Champs.
Literally, the planning of this could not be any more perfect. We're going to have all these people finishing their first half marathon. We're going to be high-fiving. We're going to be hugging at the finish line.
We'll be taking fat-free chat there.
Yeah, we'll be taking the chat. We'll definitely be there. I'll probably run it as well. You won't be. You'll be resting yourself up.
No, I'm running it.
Are you doing it?
Absolutely.
Are you actually?
Yeah.
Holy shit!
I'm going to Hawaii for 3 weeks to train.
Right.
Yeah, I'm part of the team.
Oh, that is so
squad.
Oh my god, that even just got even better for me.
Might even run the marathon.
That is huge. That is huge. So we're super excited about it. Like I said, if you want to find out any more details, head on over to the Body Magic website. We're going to keep chatting about it and little questions that come up from people over the next few weeks when they ask, what about this? What about that? And the program. Oh, actually, tell them about the program real quick. What do you actually get for the program? We've got 3 runs in the program per week, right?
Yep, 3 runs. So it'll be sort of optional, but early on I'll encourage a certain day of the week.
Yep.
Whether it be a Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday, just to give you 1 day recovery between.
And we're going to be doing the run club on a Thursday. Yeah, that's going to be our one that everybody comes and meets up. It'll be a Thursday late afternoon. We just got to confirm a spot. Just got to work out if we need permits and stuff. But anyway, we'll work that out.
Depends how big we get.
Yeah, well, that's right.
If we're starting to take over the river, then maybe they'll be just wanting to get amongst it.
Yeah,
we'll just
maybe
invite them along.
Yeah.
Basil, if you're listening, let us in. Let us around.
We should know the Premier guy. He's into triathlons.
He does, Roger. He's been at a few of the races I've done over time. But and then as we get specific towards the in that last 8 weeks, the first 8 weeks sets everybody up, gets everybody moving. The last 8 weeks is when there will be maybe sometimes I'll encourage a fourth run.
Yep.
For those who really want to maybe push for a time, I'll definitely encourage a fourth run.
Yep.
So that will be.
But it just depends on everybody's, what you want to do. If you've done them before, we can do the time stuff. But if you're just a first timer,
that's where I'm more motivated to help.
Yep, absolutely.
Right, because there should be no limit, and you should be able to run, the whole way through if you be disciplined in your approach.
Yep.
So we're just really about, people ticking off the sessions, right?
Big time. And we've got ASICS giving us a couple of pairs of shoes. So we're going to pick at random over the first 2 weeks of the sign-ups. There's going to be a guy and a girl getting a pair of shoes, right? We're talking primo from ASICS. You're all getting a Run Club shirt from ASICS. It's going to be great. I literally can't wait to build this community, get everybody involved with it, get the buzz about it, and, just have everybody get that same feeling of accomplishment that I felt.
Run into the stadium.
Yes.
And just feel it.
Yes.
And then want to do it again.
So good. That's exactly what we're after. So sign-ups are open now, www.bodymagic.fit. Any questions, hit us up, and let's go from zero to hero.
Let's get it.
Let's get it.
Quick little break here, guys. It's Matt and Gerard here from FatChat.
Hey guys, if you haven't already, would mean the world to us if you could follow, like, or subscribe to any of our channels on any of the platforms that you're listening to, because it just goes a long way into growing the pod, getting more people on, coming back and doing this every week. And we obviously love to hear from everybody too. So if you haven't already, make sure you follow, like, subscribe. It'll take you 15 seconds. We'll owe you a favor. You can let us know what that favor is at some point. When Matt's walking around, you can ask him for whatever favor that you like, and he'll definitely do it.
No, ask Madge.
If you come up and say, look, we've subscribed and we followed, we'll owe you a favor.
I'll do it.
Thanks, legends. Back to the pod.
Hey guys, Dan from BackChat here. While Gerard's mum is a real doctor, this segment is for entertainment purposes only. For specific medical conditions, make sure you seek the advice of your own doctor.
Dr. Majic, give me the news. I've got a bad case of vaginal thrush and lumps and balls, and we need you. Nope, we need a couple more weeks of it, I reckon. How good. We love that song. Welcome back to another segment of Dr. Majic. Mum, welcome back for another week.
Well, thank you very much for having me.
So good. You're wearing the same shirt as last week. That's amazing.
It's my uniform.
It's a uniform. Oh, yeah, it makes sense.
You've got yellow hair now.
Yeah.
What
I know, right. Yeah.
We'll talk about that later.
We'll talk about that later. We'll move on. We've got another whole bunch of questions. We've had some sent in, put some other little bits and pieces together as well. And we can't wait to hear all the answers from the best doctor in the world.
Well, I'll do my best.
Let's do it. So, first question I've got for you, Mum. What foods increase sexual desire? Is it because you hear that, have oysters. They get you horny.
I'd say oysters is the big one, isn't it, that people talk about. And it does have high levels of zinc in it. And zinc is supposed to promote good blood flow, so therefore perhaps could improve
what do
sexual
they call
desire.
Them? What's the...
Aphrodisiacs.
Aphrodisiacs, yeah, absolutely. So any foods containing zinc could promote...
it's funny
a healthier
though,
libido.
That food can also be very terrible.
Oh, yeah.
For you very quickly.
Well, yeah.
Well, oysters?
Yeah.
Yeah, people can be allergic to oysters.
Yeah, you can go one way or the other.
Yeah, it could be a bad oyster.
Which are common. Which are more common than not.
Yeah, pretty much all foods that could possibly help as well. Things like nuts and berries and apples and, any whole foods can actually help promote good zinc levels, and that can help promote libido.
Zinc helps promote testosterone. Is that right?
Helps promote blood flow.
Blood flow. That's the main thing that it does. Oh, okay. So why come when you look at if you go it's all test, if you go to the supplement store, it's like test booster,
So
whatever.
they've got zinc in
and
them?
They're pretty much just all a zinc supplement.
Right. Well, maybe it does too. You may well be quite right. It's not my field of expertise, Gerard, but that's interesting.
They're just marketing very well.
Yeah.
Well, no, but it's just more like if
Would make
zinc was
sense,
the thing,
wouldn't it?
then why is zinc the thing that makes it go up? Or what else has got zinc in it that you could also
Zinc's
get
quite a
zinc from?
common
Well, all of those
supplement.
food.
Yeah.
Is it in
it is.
vegetables as well?
Yeah, definitely. It's in vegetables, but nuts, berries, all that kind of stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
Matt?
What is deja vu I experience? Oh, hold on, sorry. What is deja vu? There was no comma there. I experience this often, but what actually is it?
Yeah, well, I guess it's when your brain thinks that it's experienced something, but then the frontal part of your brain goes, no, I haven't. You see something happen.
I've just had it now. We've been on this couch before. I'm just
In the same clothes.
Oh my God. I've literally just had that. My God, so weird. Continue. Sorry.
Yeah, so you think, oh, I've done that before, and then your front part of your brain's going, no, you haven't. So it's that conflict between what you think is, you've seen before, experienced before, and you actually haven't. And it's very common when you're young, and I think that's because your brain is a little bit more discerning when you're young as well, because you filter it and go, no, that hasn't actually happened before. So it's this conflict. Whereas if you're older and you accept, yeah, sure, I have done this before, so you're not questioning it.
It's not that we're living in a simulation and it was a glitch and we have been here before.
Well, no.
Truman Show, we live in it.
Yeah.
I'm convinced. I'm riding a bike. Why is it? You won't be able to answer this. So we have amazing bike path network in Perth, right?
Yep.
There's points on this bike path where you go through little tunnels and they're like blind corners. I will see nobody for 100K.
Yeah.
And I see the one person the moment you go through the blind corner and they're coming the other way. Like,
right.
You cross at it's just this coincidence you're crossing at the most dangerous time.
Part of it. Isn't that interesting?
At quite
Maybe
high
there's
speed
magnetic forces bringing you together.
So strange.
Two psychopaths, the only two people that ever want to go onto that path.
No, like I was riding with a friend
right
one
at the
day.
dangerous point.
Yeah. We're both convinced. I was riding with a mate one day
That's
out along one of them, which is to nowhere. You're literally going 40K to the bush.
Yeah.
And there's this one crossroad where a car that obviously they own the property can come over the bike path.
Yeah.
Just happened as we were going there, this car decides to come over.
Yeah, I think that's called accidents, isn't it?
I don't know.
I think that's how accidents
But
happen.
what about when you're just driving down the road, right? You just do it on the way home and you're driving and there's just someone walking there and you're like, who is that person? Like, how are they there? Why are they there?
In the middle of
Is that
nowhere.
a real person? Is that just like, and also, well, I think
Gerard,
all the time.
you've been taking some THC.
Yes,
Been into
Mum.
mummy's script book, yeah. No, but anyway, we could be here all day.
Yeah, sorry,
we go
could
with it. Anyway, next one. What is the normal amount of times to go let me do this again. What is the normal amount of times to go to the toilet per day?
As in passing urine.
Oh,
Yep.
go both.
Go both? Well, passing urine anywhere between 4 and 10 times a day is probably enough. Maybe 4 and 8. Probably 10's a bit much, yeah.
Yep.
4 and 8 is normal. And, but some people have an overactive bladder. Some people have a more urinary retention. They go less. So if you're sort of outside of those sort of 4 to 8 times a day through the day, then, you may want to discuss that with your doctor if there's a particular reason why that's happening. Yeah.
Interesting. Right.
Yeah.
And then what will make you go to the toilet more? What will make it go less? Like, what sort of factors are in that?
Yeah, well, I mean, if you have a lot of caffeine, you're going to go more. If you drink a lot of alcohol, you're going to go more. If you've got diabetes or a bladder infection, or you've got a bladder that's bigger than average, you can get what they call urinary retention. If you drink a lot of water, yeah, exactly. If you've got some people stretch their bladder too much, and therefore they go into retention. That means they don't empty properly. Some people have very small bladders, and that's because they've been told every time they go to the toilet just in case. So they're
Really? So is it like...
you should never go to the toilet just in case.
Is it like actually physically your bladder is smaller, or is it
Yes.
more that it's like the response that you've gone, maybe like you're saying, maybe I need to go to the toilet now.
Yeah,
And then you
well,
do
what
that.
happens is your bladder gets to a certain volume and it triggers the nerves to your brain saying, oh, you need to pass urine. Okay, and so you can put it off for a little bit because you've got control over that. You've got control over some of the nerves, but not But after a while, those nerves will just make you go if you don't respond. So if you want to stretch your bladder a bit, then you would just put that off for maybe 10 minutes at a time. If your bladder was small. to try and increase the volume.
I must have a tiny bladder because I'm honestly up 3 or 4 times in the night to pee every single night. It's so annoying, and I like try not to drink much after about 6 o'clock.
Yeah.
I have to have a little bit, but not much. But I'm up. Last
3
time I
or
was
4
up 4
times is a lot.
Yeah.
Usually, I mean,
But it's like
maybe
a
once
full,
or twice
like,
is enough.
Yeah, it's not like
Yeah.
I'm having like a little bit. It's like a full pee.
All right. We'll have to
Yeah.
test you for diabetes, Gerard.
Oh, shit.
My bladder's
Sure.
amazing.
And check
Is
your
it?
urine.
Yeah, I could go 6 hours on the bike. and
Oh,
not go to
I
the
can't
toilet.
do that.
So you've obviously got quite a large bladder, perhaps.
Yeah, maybe.
Because you drink lots of water, don't
Yeah,
you?
yeah, yeah. And when I finish, I go like normal. But
Right.
What about
I have
though
mates
when?
that got to stop like 3 or 4 times on the bike. It's
Yeah.
such a pain. I don't ride.
Wow.
That's why I don't ride with anyone.
But if
Right, you
you
just like to
Yeah.
yeah,
if
hold
you're
you up,
riding
yeah.
and you're sweating, obviously, and all the water's coming out like that, does that
Yeah.
make you pee less? Because it's like
Yes.
that. Because
Yeah,
that
that's
doesn't
right.
end
Well,
up
that's
at the
right. Because
bladder.
you've got sensible losses that not all your water is lost through your bladder. Yeah,
Right.
Yeah. So that's very
Right.
true.
Yep.
But yeah, interesting. You must have a giant bladder, Matt.
bladder.
Interesting. A giant bladder.
Ripper.
Just wait. Just wait till that prostate enlarges. You'll be in real trouble.
Bend on over.
Not on the couch, sure. Cheers. My turn. What does fibre... Is this my turn? Yes.
Yeah.
What does fibre do to help digestion?
Well, fibre is it bulks up things in your stomach, bulks up in your colon. It helps the transit of foods as it goes through. You don't actually absorb fibre. It's just like it just soaks up the fluid, really.
Yeah.
And it helps everything move through. But also works to help bacteria grow, the good bacteria in your gut as well. So it's like a soil for good bacteria. So it's really important to have a good fibre in your diet.
So is fiber, this might sound stupid, but is fiber the exact same? So like say if you have protein from meat or you have protein from milk, it's just protein when it goes through. Is fiber from any source all the same type of fiber, or is there like different?
Yeah, it's a really good question. You can get insoluble and soluble fibre. So you need a bit of both. You need both. But you do need to make sure that you drink enough water when you have a good fibre diet, because otherwise it could actually make you constipated if it's too dry. So you actually got to swell it up. Okay?
Right. So what's the two? What are the two types again? Sorry.
So soluble and insoluble.
What's an example of both?
So soluble fibres are all the perhaps in fruit and veggies.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then the insoluble stuff, maybe things like oats and wholemeal breads and.
And what does what?
Well, the insoluble one is more sort of swells things up, and the soluble one helps to transit things.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Great. So interesting. What effects do sports bras have on female breast health?
Yeah, right. Well, sports bras are a bit tighter, so they're going to stop the bounce that women can get from their breasts, and of course, breasts have got skin and ligaments, just like scrotum. Same thing. Going to have
Don't want that
ligaments
bouncing around everywhere.
bouncing. Well, exactly. So because if you have too much bounce, then you'll stretch the skin, you'll stretch the ligaments, and you'll have sort of southern facing breasts as opposed to
Southern facing breasts.
So you do.
You just want to keep everything compact, right? When
You
it
do.
helps you. I'm thinking from a running point of view, but
Yeah,
the less movement
get in the way.
elsewhere,
They can get in the way.
faster you are.
Absolutely, they get in the way. But long term, yeah, definitely.
What
you wanna
about
hold the
can
shape.
can like a sports bra be too tight and that have
Yes.
an adverse?
Yeah, definitely. Well, you don't want to. Sports bras are not healthy things to wear all the time because they do constrict, so they can reduce blood flow and increase swelling and lymphedema.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. So just wear them while you're playing sport, and then wear something more comfortable afterwards.
Cool. Great.
Good one. I want to know how do they grow organs like kidneys and ears?
Right. Okay. Well, there was an experiment some years ago that they're still doing these experiments still. They've actually managed to grow an ear on a mouse. Did you see that? Did you see that
No.
picture? Yeah. Right. This was some years ago. So they took they made a 3-dimensional structure of an ear. So it was done through those, that 3D stuff that they
Like
do.
a 3D printer thing.
Yeah, that's right, exactly. And then they made lots of holes in it, and they dropped cartilage cells all over it, and then they put it under the skin of this mouse, and they grew it. Yeah, and it grew out the side of this mouse. You look it up, you'll see it's very famous. Oh. So they I think there's lots of research and lots of experiments going on at the moment trying to do reproduce those sorts of things in a way that could be viable. I don't know if they've ever grown a kidney. They've certainly grown an ear. Yeah.
So is that stem cell stuff that they do all that through?
Yeah, well, that's right. The stem cells are the things where they'll be trying to grow kidneys and things. But I think they've tried to grow them in other mammals. Like they might have taken some human stem cells and then trying to grow them in other mammals. But yeah, there's quite deep stuff. Yeah.
So what's like for stem cell? I know people that have gone to like Europe or whatever, and or like Mexico and stuff like that, and they go and get some stem cell treatment done. What's that for like? And that's for like I think it's for joints that they get it. Yeah, knees and shoulders and stuff like that. What's that?
Yeah, they're probably taking. Stem cells are the cells that say in your bone marrow that can can make your red blood cells. But when you're born, stem cells are in the cord, the umbilical cord. Yeah, so some people will actually now they can actually take those cells and they can put them in a bank for you, so they're your personal cells that you can use down the track if you need to. Oh, so they're cool. Totipotent cells. They're cells that can become anything. Like, so they could become an ear, they could become a nose, they could become a kidney. Yeah. But at the moment, the biggest use for stem cells when they take those from the umbilical cord is if people develop something like a leukemia or something like that. They've actually got cells they can transplant back in them.
And are they very individual to you as well? Like, or can I use, for example, say if you had some stem cells in the bank and I'm like, can I have some stem cells?
If you were compatible, so usually a relative, you could possibly do that with a relative. Right. But in terms of the stem cells that go back into joints and things, they think that can promote better health in the joint, but I don't know the specifics of that.
Interesting. There you go. Well, Dr. Majic, thank you so much for shedding some light on all those topics. And if anybody's got any questions, make sure you hit me up on FatChat socials, on my Instagram, or at FatChat at backchatstudios.com.au. And we'll see you next week. Thank you, Dr. Majic.
Pleasure.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks, Matt.
Now, you sent me this video actually for this topic of conversation.
Yeah, you had an effect on me.
Yeah. You were scrolling through TikTok for the many hours that you do and come across this account. So this guy, we're going to play some clips in just a sec.
I had it sent to me.
You had it sent to you, did you?
Yeah, I got a mate that follows this guy religiously. Thinks he
loves him?
Loves him.
Right. Interesting. There you go.
Preach it to me all the time.
Which is so interesting because we're going to talk about it today because this guy, his name's Eddie Abbey, and he's in the UK. He's an ex-bodybuilder guy, and he used to be like, juiced up to the max, but now he's like all about pretty much what he does is he gets on his socials and he just tells everybody that everybody's food is shit. Yeah. Like, your food is shit. Yeah, what is this shit that you're
What did
eating?
you say when I sent it to you?
When I went, this guy would love it. I was like, Matt would love this guy because this is just you. But the funny, anyway, we're gonna play this clip and we're just gonna we'll chat about this clip. Ready?
Protein bar versus 2 eggs. This says 20 grams of protein, and 2 eggs you get about maximum 12 grams of protein. But guys, here's the thing: when you're talking about the protein bioavailability.
He didn't actually say that this food shit, this one actually, but like usually he just goes on these big rants about like pretty much that anything with 2 ingredients is killing you, and like it's like and he's hell aggressive about it as well.
He's just a meat eater, right? Like
yes,
eggs and meat.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. He literally does eggs and meat. Oh my God, my headphones coming out here. And that's all he does. And anything that's got like multiple ingredients, he's pretty much just saying that this food is shit. He's in the aisles and just pointing at everything. This is shit. This is shit. And
have a look. If you got time, just jump onto his page. What's his name again?
Eddie Abu.
Eddie Abu.
Yeah.
Because some of the stuff makes you laugh straight away.
It's funny. It's funny, but it's like again, like people send it to me and like I was like, have you seen this? And I'm like, oh my God, this guy, because like he talks so much shit too. So like that video right there, I think is like pretty much a perfect example where like he's got 2 eggs and he's got the protein bar and he's like, this is 20 grams of protein and this is 20 grams of protein. The eggs is the only one that you should eat. You do not even absorb this protein. He goes on these big rants, and that's just one example. But I think it proves that like, unless you've got some stupid extremist view definitely on socials, you don't get any traction anywhere. And like, people aren't coming onto your videos and getting around you and all that sort of stuff, unless you've got some super extreme view. But then that makes everything so confusing, like when you're watching the videos, because there's him going, oh, this is shit, but then there'll be another person go, oh no, well this this protein bar is fine, and that, like, it's just so confusing when you've got all these like really very strong points of view all the time on the same topic. You know what I mean?
I find it funny that people take time to comment on what he's doing.
Yeah.
Save your breath.
Oh, honestly,
he doesn't care.
Honestly, he doesn't care. Yeah, but the hypocritical thing about him, he was a bodybuilder. He used to just eat steroids for breakfast, and now he's telling everybody that a protein bar,
story.
Or like some chips are going to kill you and blah blah blah. But I actually kind of like his key message is actually kind of solid, where he's trying to get people to eat more whole foods and eat less processed foods, which is good advice. Like that is great advice. But the way in which it's delivered, I just feel like it's so confusing, and then it demonizes food and for the supermarkets and like everything. He's talking about the sales tactics. Look, he's like in the chocolate aisle, and there's like a kids thing. And he's like, it says kids, they're killing your kids. It's like, whoa, bro, like it's just a Mars bar, man. Like, relax.
Yeah, they will be kicked out of supermarkets surely. So like they'll red flag him, see him coming in.
Well, even just like like the food videos that I do, the other people that are in the similar sort of space, it's such a trend. They're all in the aisles.
Is that right?
Yeah, like whether it's like saying, oh yeah, eat this versus this, or this is a good food to eat because the calories are low, whatever their point of view is.
Coles and Woolies and Aldi are going to start charging.
Bro, it is like, honestly, you should see my Insta feed. It's just people pointing at shit in aisles.
In aisles?
Yeah, all the time. I'm like, I'm not going to go do that. Like, I'm not going to go to a Coles and Woolies. I do lots of stuff, but I'm like, I'm not going there and fucking pointing at foods.
Nah, I don't know. That's just taking it to a level that, I don't know. It doesn't interest me. I'm not sure if it would worry others, but I guess people must go on that journey, the supermarket journey. It's like, I mean, a lot of people just order from home now, so it's, that's an easier option for most, because you can be consistent with what's coming to the house each week. But yeah, I haven't seen you post the video in a supermarket.
No, I haven't. What I do is I go to the supermarket, I buy it, then come home, then start pointing at the food.
Stick the ice cream in the freezer for later.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But I think just like I said, the social media stuff in general, you got to have such an extreme view on something to get any sort of traction or eyes on you, or to hook people into whatever you're saying, whether it's they agree with you or not.
Yeah, his videos aren't even edited.
No.
Like, they're just like raw videos of him hating on anything that's not a steak or eggs.
Yeah.
Which is, that's fine if you want to do that.
Yeah.
But there are, that purpose, I guess, of holding a protein bar or 2 eggs, like for someone on the go, which this guy's not.
No, he's got all the time.
He's got time to cook it. He's just either yelling at food or cooking it. So, the alternatives are for efficiency, right?
Yeah.
So it's just being smart with those options.
What do you think about people that do like a day in the life of what they're eating videos? What do you think of that?
Can just all be manipulated or created to suit. It's like, I've worked with a lot of people, I guess, in the fitness industry in general. Once upon a time, I had a fitness business where it was group sessions and whatnot, and people were always asking, and you'd ask them, okay, what do they eat through the day? And then it would magically just become like, oats for breakfast.
I was a god
today.
Cruskets.
Rice cakes and cottage cheese and avocado for morning tea.
Yep.
This vegetables and tuna for lunch. It's like,
put some broccoli in my eyes and all this stuff. Yeah.
So I don't know. You just got to, it's almost better to, when a day in the life isn't enough. You need it just to be an average of 3 months.
Totally.
Because that's the reflection on the person.
Big time. And then I think that like what gets lost in it as well is that if your comparison is like the thief of joy, or it just makes you feel shit about whatever you're doing too. So like, for example, me, if I did a day in the life of just what I ate today and put it in a video, there's going to be people that are watching it that are not a 27-year-old personal trainer that's got no kids, or, live the life that I do, that I can cook food during the day because I'm working at home, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, whatever. Like, that's a priority for me, but that's not a thing for you. So you can't compare our foods because we're totally different in so many, aspects and areas, that it's never like that's what I should be eating because that's what they like. For example, your food, like, I shouldn't be eating whatever you're eating. Like, you know what I mean? Like, for me, I'm not an Ironman. That don't work. You know what I mean?
It's like dinner at home at night times, right?
Yeah.
So if I've had 8 hours of training through the day and my wife and I are making dinner, my dish should probably look bigger than hers. Yeah, exactly right. Not substantially bigger, but, and it needs a different spread of macros in there. And
exactly.
But it's interesting. It's a story and I guess an education that are going forever, it's always going to be very personal.
Yep.
Like the day in the life stuff, people, it's just a flex half the time.
Exactly. You know, and like, even if you look at just like different cultures in general, that like, say like Western culture, probably the highest, you know, obesity rates and everything of everybody. So look at that types of food that you're eating, but then go anywhere, go Japan, go, I don't know, what's another country? You go Ethiopia, you go Indonesia, you go whatever.
All through Europe.
Yeah, that's right. And their diets are so different because they've got their cuisines that they eat, but
timing of days different.
That's right. Like all that sort of stuff, and all that plays a part into, you know, how big you are, what you eat, what's going to be the right thing for you as well. But then there's also not one way to eat, because everybody, all those other cultures, they're all doing just fine eating their, you know, a lot of the time
100%.
eating their food, and they're doing just fine with that. So it's not necessarily just the foods that you're eating, whatever. There's foods all different all over the world, but it's just about what your lifestyle is like and what works for you in terms of timing of your food, what you eat, how much exercise, what you do for work, all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, we are in a Western culture.
Yeah.
So you need to embrace that, because we're all time poor, essentially. So that's why there's more processed foods, because everyone's on the go. So you need to be able to eat on the fly, try and eat well, which is often difficult. But when you go and try and adopt other methods from other countries, we don't have siesta here.
No.
Some people do, but, you know, you go to parts in Europe,
that's what they
shut
do
at midday for 2 hours.
Yeah.
You know, they go home, have lunch, and have a sleep. So, and they're doing well, but they're doing it their style. They eat a lot more cheese and dairy, whereas a lot of the, I guess, the stuff we see in the Western culture is it's no dairy, you know, dairy free, and trying to sort of, everyone's got allergies to this and that. Like it is true. There's a lot of people do, but it's personal.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
Let the person do them, but
Exactly.
don't try and adopt a diet regime that really doesn't fit with your day.
Exactly. And then when I'm sort of talking to people like versus, you know, whole foods versus processed foods, like a rough rule that I always give, if 80% of the time you're eating whole foods, sweet, 20% of the time and you're eating more processed stuff, that's probably a pretty good split and a pretty good ratio. If 80% of the time you're doing what you should do. And then also, like, if you're hungry, eat food. Don't eat processed food. Like that's for if you want it. Yeah. If you want it, cool, of course. Like, you know, make some allowances and your stuff, or you're going out for, you know, stuff with your friends or whatever, cool. But if you're hungry, don't eat that. Like that's a shit deal. Like,
it's like an old tale would be when someone's like, oh, I'm hungry. It's like, oh, well, would you like a carrot? If you say no, well, you're not hungry.
You're not hungry.
You know, try and have a big cup of water first, and then see how you feel after that. But yeah, if you had the option to have some vegetables or stuff, and you're like, oh no, I'm okay. It's like, well, you're being picky to wanting some sugar, or you know, you can go without it.
Yeah,
essentially,
absolutely. Eddie, this is shit. Your videos are shit.
Oh, let's hope he sees it.
He won't care.
He won't care at all.
Hey legends, how you doing? This next little segment, I caught up with former Perth Wildcats player Greg Heyer. He's won multiple championships for the Perth Wildcats. He's running a charity called A Stitch in Time, doing great work for mental health. And it's always great to catch up with Greg. The full episode I've interviewed him back in the day, the Potty Magic days. If you go back down and have a look at that one, real good to hear all the stories about him playing. But we caught up this time round to talk about this crazy endurance event that he's doing for his charity, A Stitch in Time. He's actually riding from Kununurra all the way down to Perth over about a month, which is absolutely crazy. It was something from memory like 3,000 or 4,000 kilometers, 3,500 kilometers, something crazy. And he's doing it for mental health. And it was just great to hear all the little things about his journey so far. He is definitely by no means a cyclist. And it was pretty funny hearing all the just the stories and the things that have got in the way so far with his journey. So enjoy the chat with Greg. Make sure you go check out over on his socials to see any more updates about his run too. And as always, thanks so much for listening to FatChat, and make sure you follow, subscribe, or like any of the FatChat episodes. Really goes a long way to building the show, and I can't wait for next week.
Yeah, so in summary, in short, later this year in September, I'll be riding from Kununurra down to Perth. So that equates to about 3,249 Ks. So significant number that represents the lives lost to suicide in Australia, well, in 2022. Wow. So obviously pretty prominent in terms of our charity work. It's a lot of work that we do throughout those locations, whether it's the Kimberleys down to through to the Pilbara to the southwest and Midwest and coming down. So yeah, sort of playing professional sports for 10 years, you're sort of chasing a common goal, and I'm sure it's sort of like everyone in life, they have that aha moment. And pre-COVID, I was going to embark on a bike ride just from Kununurra down to Broome, and we had like a pretty good list of athletes that wanted to take part. And then obviously the world stops, and a few times of just trying to restart that bike ride just didn't fall through. And then now obviously doing it full time, and I sort of not lost my way, but I was sort of, to be honest, I just didn't have a goal, like in terms of physically, that I was chasing what I was accustomed to. Like professional athletes, if you're not below a skin fold measurement or whatnot, you're sort of, not only is that impacting your performance, but you just knew you'd sort of be embarrassed in a way to rock up on a training session on Monday. Yeah. So I sort of wanted to set a standard and be a really good positive role model from healthy habits with my son, and the bike ride in a very drastic and dramatic way made me sort of to put a routine in place. So I've got about 8 punctured tyres. I had one today when I was riding to work.
I've been watching all the punctured tyre stuff.
Perth's bad, mate. The glass on the road and whatnot here is terrible. Yeah, and on the footpath.
It is an absolute night. Even today, I was like, I'm rolling here, and it was sort of a bit of a brutal ride. And then next thing I know, I was like, either I'm hallucinating or something's going on, because I keep going, like, I keep swerving for no reason. Yeah, right. I'm like, that's not natural. And then, so I am I'm the least handyman person in the world. So like for me it's like, all right, every time there's a punctured tire, I head on down to a bike shop and ask them to fix me. I'm still like, I've got to register. So fortunate enough, I've got a nice little team coming up with me up to Kununurra to
they
start
can just
off
keep
with
giving you new wheels and go, here, fix it.
Mate. No, if you know of any bike sponsors that just want to lend me 8 bikes if something happens, but
change bike.
Yeah, mate. It's honestly like you're right, Matt. Like even today, I was like saw glass and I thought, I reckon I just ran over that, but it's not too bad. And then next 30 seconds later, it's terrible.